Hey YouTube, well, definitely fight of the year. That Wilder versus or Fury versus Wilder 3, or Wilder versus Fury 3, however you want to say it. Well, let's talk about the fight, I guess. Yeah, that was a proper heavyweight fight. None of this pussyfooting around. None of this going for points. Although it did look like that for a bit, but like, yeah, there's a lot to talk about there. So Fury said that he was going to coming into this fight, he was 40% better than what he was in the second fight, and judging by the accuracy of his punches and um, using that Kronk style, yeah, I would really say that he's really got that style down pat very, very well. And just to combine that with his very good defense, I think his defense could be on par with some of the greats, So, yeah, it was. Yeah, he was a very definitely 40% better. Wilder, I think there was talk about whether he was going to improve or not, and I would say that's the best Wilder I have seen since watching his fights. Like Wilder, even though he got beaten, he was still vastly improved from his previous fight. Vastly improved. And, I mean, talking about the fight, I would say rounds 1 to 3, very close. Very hard to separate who was better than the other. Like you would have said, about the same. Wilder taking an early dive, or not dive, sorry, an early hit knockdown, you would have thought, yep, Fury's going to start dominating from here. And then Wilder got those 2 knockdowns, and you thought, well, hang on, this could go either way, like any heavyweight fight should. Like, you look at it and just think, one punch can turn the fight on its head, and as in any heavyweight fight. And when you saw Fury doing that, going down, you thought, yeah, maybe Wilder's got what it takes to win. Maybe I'm wrong. Like, maybe he's not the favourite, Fury. And then Fury used the tactics that he was using in the second fight, which was which is perfectly legal and normal. And, if you're the bigger man, you should always do that in a boxing fight. And that's like, leaning on Wilder to try and break his stamina down. And then what Fury, it was just after the midway through the fifth to after like beginning of the sixth, it was all Fury. Like, he was just such a dominant force from there, and he got a deserved win. And it was an absolute dominant performance. I mean, there's no question he is the best heavyweight in the world. And Wilder can take away from that is he withstood, 5 or 6 rounds of absolute punishment. Like, he went out like a warrior. Absolutely. Total warrior there. Like, his chin was... He must have one of the best chins in boxing, because some of those shots he took, I mean, I'm pretty sure someone like AJ or Usyk or Ruiz or even Dillian White, I don't know that they could have taken those shots and kept going like he did. Like, he took those shots like a champion and just kept coming forward. And, like, you're thinking to yourself, mate, you're going to get brain damage at this rate. You need, like, yeah. And that's obviously not what you want to see. But he proved that he was a tough champion, and he absolutely deserved to be champion when he was. So, that's his takeaway. He was vastly improved from his previous fight, and he proved beyond a shadow of a doubt how tough he was. And I mean, to be honest, when I saw that knockdown, the way that when he got knocked out, I thought to myself, geez, I hope he's all right, because like that was like, as much as you want to see someone win, or that, I don't want to see someone like, you know, permanently disabled or really hurt. You know, like really really hurt. You just, do you know what I mean? Like, that's not a good thing. And yeah, he just went, when he just went limp and just flopped on the ground. You're just looking at him like, oh my god, like, yeah, hope he'll be all right. Um, but it was on his stool and his eyes open and talking, so I guess he'll recover. And yeah, that's just a quick talk about the build up to the fight. Obviously, I was not a fan of Wilder, you know, saying cheating and all that. Like, I never thought that was a way that any champion should be. Like, obviously, you don't want to hear people like making excuses, and just like Fury said, you just take the loss. Say, I lost. This is why I lost. How can I improve to be better so I don't lose again, or so that I put in a better performance? Because you've got to be the best version of yourself, and sometimes, yeah, that's just how it is. So you can't win everything. There's always going to be someone better than you. That's the reality of the world we live in. Everyone has to face that reality. It's in my in my job as a nurse, there's always other people who are better nurses than me, but I accept that and I just try to learn from them. That's it. Um, and yeah, so what I think would be good, exiting, like what should happen. Well, I thought AJ had the rematch with Usyk, because I think that's like a sort of a, he can invoke that clause or has that right, which he probably, I think, is doing anyway. And so that versus Fury is not going to happen. Fury has a mandatory with Dillian White, so I would say that I would expect to see Fury give Dillian White his shot, and then I would expect that the winner between AJ and Usyk will fight the winner of White versus Fury, and then that will determine the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. But what a performance from both men! It was a really good fight, like definitely the best fight of 2021. So yeah, without a doubt. Peace out, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you have a great day, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.